Yeah.
But to move on to the co-main event of the evening, which sucks that it's the co-main event, we have a welterweight matchup between Tyron Woodley, who is 19-6-1, and is the plus 220 underdog, going up against Vicente Luque, who's the 19-7-1 and is the minus 270 favorite. What's your predictions? And then here's a question: can you name that tie that Woodley had?
I think so, but let me think. Tie Woodley had. It wasn't Thompson, right? Was it was Thompson?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Thompson in New York City.
Yeah. I don't know. That's something weird. Like, my memory is weird. Like, I don't know why I pulled that out, but I did that. So there you go. So again, my notes to state the obvious. Woodley is shy on his trigger. He's been like that since he's gotten old. I think he doesn't trust his own gas tank at his age. And look, I'm 41, so I get that. You know what I mean? But in a fight, and especially a guy who was so explosive when he was younger, this is hard to transition to this older fighter, like a boxer's transition. Mayweather used to finish people. People don't know that. And then he finished Corrales, and then when he became a more slick non-finisher, he had to change his style. A lot of the Brazilians, when they were getting caught doing steroids, like, they had to learn how to refight without him. TJ Dillashaw is going to have to learn how to refight without whatever he was doing, right? So I'm not saying Woodley was on something, but Woodley was such an explosive athlete, like a linebacker in the ring. But his last fights is like, start to throw, Tyron. Start to throw, and he doesn't. And you're like, all right, he's not going to throw. And like, now we've been fight after fight after fight, he hasn't done it. So I don't see him doing it now. And Luque is a very tough matchup, for him. So my questions for this fight are, one, again, damn, this is the co-main event. Then my next question is, like, why is Woodley doing this? Like, you can broadcast Woodley, you can do other things. Woodley he's a smart guy. Like, he should go do something else. And then can Luque add him to the resume? Those are my questions. What I know about this fight: Luque 9-2 in his last 11, including a win over Bilal Muhammad. His only losses are Stephen Thompson and Leon Edwards in his last 11, and those weren't stoppages. So Luque has been in there with some good guys, not been finished, beating other guys. He's only 29. Woodley's lost 3 in a row. Covington, Burns, Usman, again, all studs. My outcome, I have Luque by dominant decision win, meaning that Luque is going to just piece up Woodley. Woodley's going to be shy on the trigger. He's going to try to land that big bomb right hand, or that he's known for landing. He's not going to be able to catch Luque with that, and it's just going to be Luque by dominance. I don't see him finishing Woodley. Not an easy guy to finish, but almost a guy that doesn't want to be in there. He's kind of in there, just kind of going through the motions, and I have Luque by decision.
Yeah, what's crazy about Woodley is, like you said, he was an explosive guy, but then he won the title, and then after he did that, he still had the explosive strike that he had. That once, if he connects with it, he can finish you. But other than that, I feel like he got kind of gun shy once he won the title, and then he went to like a more passive style so he can just win with the title, because usually the champion gets like the tiebreaker in those scenarios. And he just fell off. Like, he just stopped being explosive. He even stopped really using the wrestling. Like, one thing that he still has that's great is the way he defends takedowns. Like, I'll get that in a second, but like, he's one of the best guys when it gets to that. But like, when I think of Woodley, another guy that I put in that scenario where like that they haven't really changed things, or like they stopped doing what made them get to the dance, is Jose Aldo. I put them two in the same thing, because what got Jose Aldo into the dance was his leg kicks that he used to throw that were just nuts. He'd kick you, and then they'd hurt like really bad, like, and he'd do it really fast, and then he mixed in his striking with that. Ever since McGregor knocked him out, he stopped doing those leg kicks. So I don't know what it is. Kind of like once Usman knocked out Woodley, who he doesn't get knocked out that much, and like usually Woodley just gets beat up a lot.
Right.
But once that happened, he changed, kind of like Aldo changed, and I don't know what it is about it. Like just like you said, maybe he should go into a commentary like he tried out like a couple years ago. But Woodley is coming in on a 3-fight losing streak, which showed him get dominated and out of his element. He's a wrestler and striker who loves to throw that wicked hand that has, and then he has excellent defense on all levels. Luque, aka the silent assassin, I love his nickname, is coming in, winning 8 of his last 9 fights, having sneaky knockout power. He is a violent fighter who loves to mix up and combine excellent technical boxing with ferocious power.
Just trouble.
He has an underrated ground game with a background in BJJ, and used that to move up the small circuits. Like he used the BJJ early on. He's gone away from it a little bit once he's gotten to the UFC, but he can always, if he needs to, adapt and then bring that back in. And I feel like that's what he used early on, and then he's kind of adapted to using the striking. And then now this is a great matchup, like because of the defense that Woodley has. But I still have Vicente Luque by winning by unanimous decision, outstriking Woodley but not knocking him out. Like it's very difficult to knock Woodley out unless you're Usman, where
Usman did not knock him out.
Yeah,
that was the decision.
Was that the decision? Who knocked him out?
Only Marquardt did, and Kobe Covington with the rib injury, which is
that's what it was. I meant Covington.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
So, what's funny, D-Bake, is I always remember Usman also, I thought, knocked out Woodley, and his mom came and talked to Usman. I can remember that, but the more I've looked at it a few times over the time since it's happened, and it was a decision. It was just so dominant of Usman over Woodley that it wasn't a knockout. He's, again, only time he's been finished really was Marquardt, and then the rib injury where he's screaming my ribs.
Yeah. That's right. That's right. I don't know why I thought of Usman. I think it's just because I want Usman and Covington rematch so bad that I just swapped their names.
Other than their racial makeup, they're very similar fighters. Covington and
they are
like Usman and Covington are very similar fighters. I mean, and that's why they made a good fight versus each other, because they had to do their striking because their super grappling abilities cancel each other out, which made a great sloppy fun fight, and something we all want to see again. And it's funny, they could be brothers in the fight game from another month, Covington and Usman, really,
Oh yeah, but I have this all day by Luque. He's gonna move on up. This is like this is a co-main event, and it's a guy ranked number 7, and I think Luque is number 9 or 10.
Yeah.
So you got 2 top 10 guys, but this is a spot where you need at least one guy in the top 5 at least. Like I can see if it's like a 4 or 5 against like a 6 or 7. I'll be more inclined to be like, okay, that's more of like a co-main event, but it's another shakeup to where it's move on up.
Right.
And then I have Luque winning this, because unless Woodley can somehow bring back that confidence and bring that back, that explosiveness, which
can't turn back time.
Yeah, usually you can't do that. Like the first thing to go, they say in fighting, is your speed, and is your speed. The last thing that goes is your power. So at least he has the power there, but he doesn't have that speed anymore. Yeah, which sucks, because he was very fun to watch.
Right.
Early on, because he just come in very fast and explosive and knock guys out, and now he's not that. And then Luque is going to come in and I feel like he's just going to unload on him, and with a lot of volume. And then like this is kind of a fight where I see Luque hit him with at least over 100 strikes.
Right.
And then Woodley just hang in there, and if he has that chance to hit that explosive strike, he will, and he could connect and win. But I just don't see it happening. I don't think everybody's game planning the right way for him now. They're like, okay, just gotta stay away from that strike of his. If I can do that, I can win this.
Sure. Yeah, I'm with you on that. And again, remember Dominic Cruz and Condit, I think, were on the prelims a couple cards ago, and now we have Woodley as a co-main for a pay-per-view, just to keep rubbing this in a bit more on us that Condit, Cruz are on the same wavelength as a Woodley at this point, really, right? And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I might rather see Condit and Cruz instead of Woodley as a co-main event at this point.
Well, with Carlos Condit, he's won his last, I think, 4 or 5 fights. He's working his way back up from the grave after losing 5 straight.
But also, I don't think any of those 5 straight losses were bad fights for me to watch.
No.
I mean, like Condit always puts on a show. So, anyway, so just a little bit more.